H-H-N-I-C. Heaven, Nick. Take away the H, put a Q, because the H is the 8th letter and the Q is the 17th letter. 1 and 7 makes 8. Okay? It connects the light to the heavens. A, it should be. Connecting the light to the heavens. Now you would go 6, 1, 1, 6. I'm not really sure which way to do it, because it's the one light, but you need 6, 1, 5, 1, 6. Meaning the one spirit to the 6. But no, it's man that receives the 6. Up there, they don't need the 6. They send out one light, and it lightens up 6 areas. So HNIC is something I wrote. I wrote so many things, but first of all, this is going to be as short as I can. I'm going to try my best. First of all, I came up with so many things. The ancient world, okay? Old world connectors. What's an old world connector? The ancient worlds. The Hopi Indians? But in French, they wouldn't say that. They would say, you know what the French would say? If I say the Hopi Indians, they would say OP. O-P. P-O, 16 and 15, 31. The angel creator, 31, 13. 11 times 11 times 11 times 11 is 14. I think 6, 14. 14, 6, 14. 14 into 42, the world that we are. 8 and 6, 9 and 5, 10 and 4, 42. Where was I right now? The 42, the world that we're in. OP. Yes, because it creates 11 times 11 times 11, which creates 14, 6, 14, 11 times 11, 11 times 11 times 11 equals 1331 times 11 equals 14, 6, 14. Now, the game of craps, where the odds are the same on 8 and 6 as they are the same in 8 and 6 because they are all opposites of each other. Here's your 3 and 3. The opposite would be 8. So your 8 and 6 is 14. Your 9 and 5. Okay? Your 9 and 5. Here's your 5. What do you think is going to happen on the other side? It's automatically a 9. This is your beta creation, WBC. And on this side, this is the number of the sun and the same number of the fox, 4555. Can you imagine Jupiter, Saturn, laughing at us? Ha 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 ha. Welcome to the spirit worlds. But I want to know more. There's a couple of people who have been very interesting, and I don't want to mention the name of anything that's generation. I don't want to mention anything that's in January. I don't want to say anything that is a race, the grace of a race. But it's all about George, and you know who you are. And there's more than one, but each and one I chose a name, and they've come to light within the sight. In the dead of night that I have not seen is because it's the dead of night, and the time you have not seen is because you weren't looking. So that's the dead of night. When you don't see, that's night for you, lights out for you. Count to 3. You ever do the countdown on your ready? Get Mark, go. Well, where is Mark? Mark, oh, there he is. Mark wants me to show you the picture I just finished, and I'm looking for people to tell me whatever they think. Can you actually see the picture without the light blocking it? And then it turns up like this is the real way. I didn't even know. But take a look in here. It says 8698, depending which side you're looking on. Over here, I didn't know. But it's the horn with lips at the end. I want to fix this a little bit. But this is the horn that's going to be blown. These are the 2 tunes. These are the waves. Here's the driver inside your mind. Watch out. I'm driving Mr. X. The grinder on one side, okay, who grinds into this side. While he holds back, he's constantly grinding from the matrix cubes. Up above and above all, here's your turtle. Here's your fish. Here's the 2 sides of the 5 and 5 commandments, and here's the stairway. Here's the stairway, all the way up and over. Why? I don't know. But if I wasn't a little See your big frog over here? I'd have to fix it up and turn the colors here. But do you think it's cheating? Do you think it's cheating if I use some markers to fix the design? Because I feel like I'm cheating. If it's a paint design, I had a marker, I went for precision. No, I'm not good any other way. You want to find somebody good? Go find Jenny New. She puts everything together. She sees, you know what Janu sees? She's the reader of the bones. You know why? Because she showed me a picture yesterday of this really incredible design that is actually the sandpit of Mars, in which the prism is inside down. And you know how I visit the prism? It looks like 2 7 letters that's like carrying the cross off your back. Like one of the lines that you have in the X is because of the 7. It's an elongated, okay? It's a 7. Can you imagine the 7? Let me show you, okay? I got to show you the 7, okay? I've got so many things. I went shopping, and every time I heard something on the radio, somebody crossed or I thought of something, I came up with something new. But let me show you the 7. Here's the 7 over here, okay? This part is the center. I have my cat sitting right in front of my screen. Can we do this a little bit later? Okay, so there's the 7. Wait a second. Well, it's backwards. So I'm going to have to redesign the 7 only because sometimes it's on that side, and when the needle turns, sometimes the 7 on the other side. And if it's working for what the explanation is, because don't forget, we're last. We're not first. We're first here of who we are as 1, but we are actually the 9 births. We are last. We are 1, we are 9. And 1 times 9 and 1 plus 9 equals 10 and 9 and equals the same thing as Earth and Mars. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 12 and 7 is 19 equals to the 1 and 9. Oh, and I'm like you understand? Because we all own our other positions. We all own our other positions. So what happens here, okay, is I'm assuming, I'm going to just try and see if we can get this right. Oh my God, this is our kingdom come, this is our kingdom come. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? This is your 7. This is your scope. She runs out of the center of Rubik's Cube, which can turn this way or whichever way the angle is, I do not know. This would be your cloud. This is your 7 over here. But if I draw it on this side, it's the 7 over here. And it swings around the disk, and the disk is over here. And it reads the disk, and it reads all the disks, because this line goes all the way through. This also is the halo, the Christmas halo. For those who don't understand, it hooks up in the back. That what would happen to a halo, okay, what would happen to a halo? How are we supposed to design this halo? To become the letter B, the small b? Is it more rounder? The halo, I have to know if it's more round. If it's more round, we can make something else, but we'll still get, if it was round, we'll get the B, or we'll get the C, or we'll get the D. This is your 7th gate. 7th gate, 7 of 6, 8 of 6. The 7th gate runs in the 8 of 6, 6, 7, and 8. The 7th gate, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, if you take a look, 3 down the side, 3 down the other side. There's 3 down all. All 6s are the same. The only difference is 6 has nothing inside of anything unless they're overlapping with each other. The total is this, is the King of Diamonds has 7 eyes. The Queen of all, the kings of all kings have 7 eyes total. Only the King of Diamonds has 1. The queens all have 2 eyes, plus they have a flower. Flower power, number 10, connecting 5 and 5. Guy Lafleur. The flower, what is the flower? It's George Jetson, another George. George of the Jet Sun. Jetson says 2019, which talks about the moon, in 2005, which talks about the spirit, the V, life, in the center of the X. The X is worth 24, right? But he's also worth 23 because there's an opposition. You can double up east and west, but you have to take away north and south. You take away north and south because north goes to south, but east and west walk in and walk with each other. So 6 and 4 will be 10, but 2 and 8 opposite of each other will actually only be 6. Therefore, you can have your 666 right there. Did you understand what I said? We're 2 and 8. Venus, Neptune. Okay, Venus and Neptune. You see, you think I'm trying to... Oh, God. What a big child. Venus and Neptune. And the cat's playing with me, eh? So what do you think I'm going to think about Venus and Neptune? Is it the part of the system? Let me pick up the cards here. I need to pick up the cards. Can you stay out of it? Oh, you poor kid, eh? Nobody plays with you. But after you're going to sleep for 10 hours, wake up in the middle of the night and not give a hoot what you do, eh? You understand the owl? By saying that to him, I said the owl doesn't give a hoot. What's a hoot? What's a hooter? Okay? What's a hooter? A hooter is 2 mountains. Okay? So now are we talking about lakes and mountains? Because there's lakes in between the mountains. And where did I get that? Because somewhere around where I live, there's a lake of 2 mountains. This cat is going nuts. So hooters, okay, are the mountains or the wells. That means hooter, the owl of Who's Who in the scientific movie, might have been talking about the radiation towers, in which I've shown the radiation towers before. Just one second. The radiation towers here, where this goes down, this may go up, but the only thing that can go up are these strands. There's a loop. There's a loop that has to do this. Now, is that part of the halo? Well, this goes inside of here. It's like something is passed through the hourglass of time. The loop also connects this side with this side. There's another way to do it by creating this, which kisses the 2 world. It takes the Venus world and it brings it all the way down to the bottom. And you know what happens after that? She gives you a pair of legs. Or she'll turn them on the outside. And then the other part of the Venus world, she'll give you arms. But to see the way she gave you legs, you now have your V hips. Your legs come off your hips. Because you have really no hips. It's not the same thing. Anyways, so we've come into here. We've come into this number over here. And we have this. And if you ever look at the fleur-de-lis, that was at the 10 Commandments by Moses, and the fleur-de-lis they threw at Jesus Christ, and the fleur-de-lis here in Quebec, where Quebec is one of the biggest electronical producers in the world, and shipping it out to the good old USA. The strings of this, okay, is all jack hooks, it's sky hooks. It's the fiber optics that they run off from here, they go around here. Okay, it goes around here, and it hooks them up from here to around here, and here to around here, and here to around here. I don't know exactly how it hooks it up. That'll be your halo connecting to the rest of the whole part of your head right here. Then it shows it to you how you're hooked up. See Urantia shape? Well, somehow they must have burnt the hairs in that area through the power of your thinking, and then you become bald. Or maybe your mind didn't work right. Whatever it was, it happens to do with the system you're in. I am from the Urantia world. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am one of the rare 11s. See this hand? See the line? I'm going to make the line better than that. It's going to follow the line. So my line is right there. If you notice, there's no other lines. So when I bend, that's all that covers. You try this at home, you'll see. Just follow the center line. If you do not follow the center line, and this is the center line, and I've got an F, and it closes exactly even. You see the way it makes a Y? Yes, that's where I was. I was a little lost before. We were talking about the Y and the 7, okay, of the radio player of picking up. Here's the organ. That seems like Rubik's Cube is the organ. Okay, wow, I forgot again. Oh yes, the Y. So don't you notice it's the Y here? So how does it become the X? How does this become the X? Don't forget, it's 6, 7, and 8. Okay, this is here, and there's something else that goes here. Now, if you take a good look at this, okay, it looks like a musical note from St. Louis. So now we have to understand the St. Louis Blues. It also looks like the letter P, the one spirit of the sixth light, and it is. It's the one light for the sixth spirit. Here's the sixth spirit right here. Why is it the sixth spirit? Because 2, 5, and 8 are already in you. You pick up 1 and 3. You pick up 4 and 6. You pick up 7 and 9. But in this world, apparently, okay, since it's going through the 2 area, they reversed it in low shu. In low shu, this becomes number 1 here. We're going to have to do it on this angle when we calculate it. A 1 here, the 2 position here, the 2 position here, the 1 position here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of making it 9, we make 9 on an angle. We put the Rubik's Cube on an angle to show that low shu even numbers go up here, because you see 2 is straight up? Well, look at that. This point is straight up. Look at the angle of my paper. That's number 2 in low shu, goes right over there. This is number 8, goes over here. This is number 4, goes over here. This number 6 goes over here. That's your low shu positioning. This one over here is 3, 5, and 7, in which the calculator right now is 3, 5, and 7. 3, 5, and 7. 3, 5, and 7 is the calculator, and 1, 5, and 9 is the phone. Position. Position 16 and 15. Position 15 and 16, in which what I want to explain is somewhere in my work I want to remove the 9, I want to remove the 8, and I want to remove the 7. I want to replace the 9 with a 1, and I want to replace the 7 with a 3, and go 1, 3, 1, 3. And then it's so much easier to do A, B, C, and I can explain it all, in which A is just the heart that pumps, but your heart is Rubik's Cube. It's got more valves and turnstiles than anything else. Wouldn't you think it would be part of Rubik's Cube? And the functionality of the rest of your body works in the same fashion. So where were we right now? So I was showing you how the 7th gate works on both sides, 2 separated worlds. You remember I showed you on this angle, Jen, that picture you have with the 2 C's. You know, the 2 C's on this side and the balls in between? Because man lives in that ball. That's how he's electronically, that moon, that quarter moon, the only reason it's a quarter is because the missing piece of that time of the month is us. It's missing from us. Our world, they took it away from us. We're only working on 1 quarter, or they're only showing us 1 quarter. They're showing us the true moon, the 1 quarter, with the man on the moon in between, the circle in between the part of the sea. And then you have this, that little thing that goes in the center, calling manana, between the 2 N and N. Why N and N? Because K on this side, K on this side. The N goes up and down. I'm just trying to see how to do this. There. Now, this is not the only way to do it, okay? There's something else to do, but I gave you K and K, okay? But if I turn it this way, okay, what do we have over here? It's something else over here. It retains something else. I cannot explain it. I just saw it right now. I should leave it out and come back to it again. We see it's 5, 8, 5. 5, 8, 5 is the rotation. The 5, the electronic of the, yeah, 5, 8, 5. 5 is the electronic. 8, why would this be an 8? Can anybody figure out why this is an 8? The 6 and 2 is 8. This is a transmission. This letter becomes also the T letter. Okay, this becomes also the T. This will actually create the T, and one of the reasons it creates the T is because 2 times 6 is 12. 2 plus 6 is 8 equals 20, and that's T. So now we have this creation. This is like the chicken leg. Okay, these are the angles we can see above. These are the angles we can see below, or our walking feet. And this is the grinding still, the way it works. And then you can turn it this way, and it can be grinding. You remember that thing from Archangel Raphael? It shows us how it's grinding. Another thing, the calculator and the phone together, this shows 4. This will become 1, and this will become 7. 4, 1, 7 when you add them together. Four, 1, 7 is go of the 7th gate. You know why go? Because go is a plateau. Go is a plateau, and it's number 22. The 22nd letter is O and G. G, O, 7 plus 15, 7 plus 11, 18. Why 18? Because the O is 15. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals 11. Otherwise, you'll put 7 and 2. And the same thing, 7 and 2 is when it begins. The next one is go, center C, creation. 11 and 7 is 18. Resh, R letter, R, 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 A, R, A, R, A, R. Archangels. So 4, 1, 7, 4, 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 and 7 is 16. 1 and 7 is 6. This became 16. So if this becomes a 16, okay, that's the one spirit light. So automatically your one spirit light goes here, 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 and over here in the center. This is that E letter, E and E for the electronic world. And what happens? F has to connect. So how does F connect? There's a ball on top of this. It'll loop in. F will loop in. And it'll do that. Now look what we have. We have KXK. This is how we create our F. And this is the bar line that goes beside the 2 sides of X. Don't forget, this is a 7 and this is a 7. The 8 world runs both of them. I'm apparently thinking that we live right here because this became an X and we are X. We're X10 value as a whole body and core, and we're 24X in the alphabet, making 3 and 4, Mars and Earth, the sandbox and the prism. And what I want to show you right now is the sandbox and the prism. Oh yeah, at the same time, this is the sandbox and the prism. Right here, sandbox and the prism. Here's the disk that turns around inside. It reads from the inside. This is Earth Luna. Luna's number 48. We have run into the 48th moon. You know what I'm saying? 48th Super Bowl, and this is the sphere. That's this year. Mars is equal to 51. Luna is equal to 48. That equals to the year of Jupiter. When Mars comes back to Jupiter, that means the sandbox becomes home to the one spirit moon. And those are the numbers I'm adding up. It also says 4 times 8, which is April and August. 4 times 8 is 32. The backdoor connection, 4 and 8 is 12. The angel spirit of 3. It becomes number 44. 4. And then you have 5, 6 in the middle. In fact, you have 4. You can't have 5 because 4 goes with 5. The minute you say 6, 6 doesn't mean anything. But when you say 7, you know you have 6. Because inside the 7 card is your 6. And that's your 7th card. Let's live life. 5 up at the top, 2 a little bit lower. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm seeing something. I'm having a vision. I see something red like a diamond. I see a red diamond. 7 of diamonds. So, you see a 7 of diamonds anywhere? So the 7 starts with the first moon, and your 8 becomes your next moon. But man's heart Area 51. Whether you turn it this way and it tells you one thing, or you turn it this way and it tells you something else. This is only in one world. These are all three worlds. First world at the bottom, center world, top world. Center world connects to here. Center world connects to here. Want to know why number 15? 0 is 15? Because you're splitting three worlds 1.5 times to one side or 1.5 times to the other side. Don't ask me. You tell me why there's 30 eggs in a tray and they call it 2.5 dozen. Why Jack is number 25? Why the number of moons, where the number of Pluto and the cat equals 1, 2, 3? Not Pluto. Pluto and the cat. You got 84, 16, 28, 38, 48, 49, 59, 69, 79, 84. Cat, 24, 108. Now what else am I going to do? Not Pluto. Jupiter. Jupiter and the cat. Here, look at this. Jupiter's 99. Automatically in the 1010 world, it's 11, but in the 13 world, it's a 4. It becomes 1441, and Grover is standing on a flagpole on the 123 ABC Sesame Street. And he's standing up there holding 1441. 4 and 9 is 13, and 1, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3 times 47. And you tell me why dog is number 74. Dog is number 74. D is the 4th letter. G is the 7th letter. You don't want to talk about 0 because it's a circle of life and time that you're counting. 1, 2, 3, 47. This becomes 6. This becomes 2. 6 and 2 is dog. Queen again. 62 is queen. 26 is dog. This whole game is about matching, matching, and keep matching. That's why the Jews ate matching Harris. Matching Harris, I don't know who it is, but the Harris Bank of Montreal you have to watch out for because that's what it represents. Matches herring, but it's about their hearing. And, huh? You know what I'm doing with this? You see the wolf on it? I'm going to be painting that in. I'm going to spitter spatter. I'm going to spitter spatter. This is my paint board. Can you see the light coming in over here? And I didn't even know. Now I'm going to throw a few strokes of yellow, and I'm going to try and do something with this, which all it was a spatter board. We were talking about flowers before. Now, if you ever leave me and you didn't understand something, I remember further on in the video, and you have to piece it together further on. It's almost like, this is like, hey man, everybody come out and listen to Mr. Tackpans, get your pen and paper. We're going on a word hunt, on a representation and a coincidence hunt. What came on the radio while we were listening to Mr. Tackpans is going to be our revelation. Do you want to take part in these things? Well, I just thought that if you're listening to a radio very low or somebody says something to you while you're watching Mr. Tackpans, stop me, hear what you said, repeat it to yourself. It might be a connection to what I have just said, making you think in that direction. It's not magic. It's just... that's matrix. We're all made the same way. We all have the same information. It's what questions we ask within ourselves is going to relevate to what comes out of ourselves. Jupiter 99. And everybody knows it's the Jew bird, or the Jupai bird, which regulates spirit in this land. It's a bird that's multicolored, that flies upside down with pointed wings. And it opens and it closes the gates. The gates of H and I. Why? What is the gates of H and I? The gates of H and I. Where is a picture of the gates of H and I? Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's the picture? I know. It's here somewhere. It's here somewhere. The gates of H and I. The gates of H and I. Oh, it's right here. I I showed it once already. You know, like juniper bird is like one of those 5-point stars. Here, right here. This, you see the C? Why is it a C? Because when a door opens, although it has its cadrage of the door, the passage of the door that opens creates your C because one side is closed. The other side is occupied. Here's your Gimel. Here's juniper bird. She spins upside down, she turns this little screw, and she lowers this here, higher and lower, because spirit comes down like this. And how does spirit go? It falls into the funnel over here, into little eggs. And then the eggs hit the pieces of the crown over here and break. And then all the little molecules goes into the pineal gland, where it spits them out, and it spins around, and every piston opens up, taking in with what goes to what where. And then it comes down, and then comes down. You see the two eyes, the other one that can't see? And then here's a four-headed bird. You see this bird over here just with the green? And you look at her this way with this beak over here. There's a bird over here, see, looking this way. But if you turn it more, here's the bird looking down this way. But if you take a look, this is this whole beak here. That's even a bigger bird of another bird. And then it's the same thing. And then inside, it says Anochi. A-N-O-C-I. Everything is squishing. You see the way I finished off with this color here, the blue, the purple, and the yellow? What is it? What is that yellow? What is that yellow that pisses on our brain? They always mention the yellow. In fact, yellow with a Y and S. Piss and P-S. Piss and shit. Don't forget. P is the 16th letter. S is the 19th, equals to 35. They go together, P and S. Because the birth and the 3 times 2, which is man, of the 3 times 3, 3 times 2, where's this book? Where's my book? The 3 times 2 equals 6, the man. And in order to live, he needs 3 times 4, 3 equals to his 9, life, in which 2 and 8 is the space in between your legs, to do that space in between your legs, you need the 2 and 8. So 2 is not always in the world. You become the 8. The 2 might be your head. I'm not really sure in this, but it comes out to 69. And at the same time, you get 4 by 2, and 6. The opposite side is 6. 4 by 2 equals to the 8, and that's it. It becomes 3, 4, 3, or 3 and 4 is 7. 6 and 2 is 8. 7 and 8. 6 and 6. 7 and 8. 7. Excuse me. 3 times 3 is 5. 5. Anyways, let me get away from there. I want to go back to this. Jupiter and the cat equal 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, which is dog. 47, 7, and 4. Dog. It's also Jesus. It's also the word for time. When you multiply it, it becomes 5781. '81 is 9 times 9, Venus. Dog, 74, 47. Any which way. But the 0 is the circle of life. So it becomes 4 and 15. 4 and 6, just like Israel, just like Zion, just like 0, just like Nelson Mandela, just like go dog go, go dog go. When you start Monopoly and you say go, and it comes from the G has a plateau to go. And it has a space for a star. And the star, all it has to do is, you ever see the letter G? They basically do this with the G. If you check all of them and read them out, it's like this. All you're missing over here is another line. Another G faces G. And you see you have the top part of the puzzle piece over here. This is also number 52, which has basically TV land, when you put two G's together, and now I'm going to have to remake this, and then because they don't touch, this ends up going here, the star. How do I know the star goes here? In the 7 and 8 world of 9, 8, 5, 7th world, go, because go is 22 and it's busting blackjack, and blackjack pays 1.5 times the value, meaning your value is 1.5 times. So if you are 4 as a man, 1.5 times your value of 4 as a man is 6. So you are man 6 of 4. They both come with the number 5 electricity. So you get 4, 5, 5, 6, if you want to look at it that way. It equals to 20 or 9, 11. Dog and cat. Cat is 24. Dog, why do I say it? Because dog, the number for dog, is 26. The number to connect the moon, 26. 1 and 1 is 2. So we'd have 2 and 8. We'd have man. Man is the dog. How did I get this over here? This one is 15. Okay? This one is 4. Is 19. You make the moon with do. 19 and 7 is 26. If you had to make 26, 2 times 6 is 12. 2 plus 6 is 8. So you end up with the Z. And then you end up with the T. And this is your T right here. You see this over here, 2 upside down needles? Needles, Arizona. Could be part of the halo work. But E goes here and it spins. And instead of the G, see the G now, the way it just goes in like this? See this part goes in like this? It doesn't have the plateau, so sometimes they put it, sometimes they don't. So we have to know what this means. If this line here goes down over here and over here, in this side, with this X, it'll say 9, 11. And on this side, the X with the 1 will say, no, here we'll say the 9, here it'll say the 11. But what is this? It must be spinning this way within your hips. Okay? Because everything has to spin this way. You have a central that comes down over here. Or this one will come up, making your tail come out of your ass. I don't know how that works. It could be the spirit part. But that'll come out of the bottom central. So you end up with an automatic line going down here, or the lines are connected to your G's on each side. And that's why this becomes your electronic. And as it spins this way, okay, you are between here and here, because you're not in the sky. You're a certain distance from the Earth. Okay, as long as you're within the whatever. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. It also says 52 for Earth. 2 sides, the 7 and the 8 moon. Here be the moon here. Here be the moon here. Jen, this is where your thing comes in. It splits over here. You end up living in one world. And you're that needle on the piano. I mean on the, you're the needle on the record over here in this world. And at the same time, you'd be the needle on this world. You replicate in the other world because it's all about you. It goes in one way and it goes all the same way. Whatever it goes through, it goes through. This would be you, 6, 7, and 8. But in your own body, you become over here. First you're living in this world, then you're living in this world, but now your complete life is in this world. 5 times 2 is 10. Dog and cat, 24 and 26 creates the 50 pass. Dog on here, okay, makes 125. 26 plus this is 125. George, right? Is that what it is, Messer? George? 125? 5 times a quarter is 125. 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125. The 125th day of the year is May 5th. Pretty funny, eh? That's the day this all began for me. 125th day of the year, May 5th. Saw the light. It was beautiful. I want to learn that spirit world. I want to understand when somebody says eat this or do this because this is good for you. I need to know why things. I just don't want to jump in there and say, oh yeah, I'm buying this is good for me. I need to know why it's good for me. I need to know where it's going to go in my body. I want to know what it's going to do in my body because I need to know everything in my body so I can think with my body. And maybe my body will think a little bit more for me and I'll save memory in different places I never thought existed. The Hopi Indians, the French don't say the H. So all they're really saying is OP. And in the alphabet, when you sing the alphabet, LMNOP, OP, Hopi Indians, and right there at the Hopi Indians, okay? Right there at the Hopi Indians, okay? Number OP, okay, is 15 and 16. The one spirit of 6, this is a black, which means the egg. This is your light. This creates your 11. This creates your 13. 2 and 3 is your creation. The Hopi Indians, and you know what number it gives you next? Obviously, it'd be part of creation. It gives you number 3. 136 or 6 points, 1 point, and 3 points in football. 6 days, 1 day, and 3 days in time, according to time for 10 days. 613 laws of Moses. Add 1 to 16, and it equals to 136. The total here, okay, is 6 and 7. The spirit of 76, or let's bring it down to the 1 level. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals 11, or 5 and 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is 6 and 7. So this is 13 and 11. This is 2 and 3. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 11 again. Spirit, angel, and man stopped here. And it's funny because on the keyboard, okay, or on the debit machine, the Q is now in the 1 position, and the Z is now in the 1 position. And the Q is the first and the last letter inside the 7th gate of the piano of A and G. The 6 is the F. The F, let me tell you something about the F. Anything to do with 10, January, June, July, they're all number 10s. All zeros become 6. Now they become a total of 7. So now there's 7. January, June, July are all 7s. February is the only initial in the months, F, with 6. So it becomes 76, 76, 76, or 76, 767. The American flag. 7 red, 6 white, because 6 is the 3 times part of Venus. That's right. 6 equals 3 times Venus. And depends how you get the 6. It's 1 plus 5 equals to 6, or is it 2 plus 4 equal to 6, or is it 3 plus 3 equals to 6? And once you get that, 6 equals 8. So now you have to count the 2 tails, because once you do one side, you do the other side. You have to skip over 5 all the time, because you're working on 2 sides. 5 turns you around. 5 turns you... Here's the whole. This whole thing is 15 as a whole. Okay? It's 5 on the outside, and it's valued at 10 on the inside. Or it's 20 on the outside, valued at 5 on the inside. Because it's the circumference. This is your whole circumference. But the totality of the reason of all this was, if it was 20, the value of the center by crisscrossing number 5 4 times, you cross it once, 5. You cross it twice, 10. You cross it 3 times, 15. You cross it again, it's number 20. You created 1 9, 2 8, 4 6, 3 7. You created 40. Plus you crossed here for 20 in the middle of 5. You have 60 seconds on the clock. But you don't count 5. You count 4 and 6. Because these are the two that run on the record dial. And this is the pin to run the record dial. This is Jack. See the way Jack runs on one side? He turns around. This is like shutters. He turns around. This turns, and this goes in the back, then it comes out here. And it goes around and it comes out here. But there may be 3 of them. So that when this one is just leaving that area, the other one's just starting to come into this area, as the next one's just starting to go here. There's only 3. There's 6 sides to a dice. 2 opposites of each other only give it 2 paddles. But in this situation, you need 3 paddles, because there's one that's always in limbo, that's in the 0 world. You understand? It's the 0 world, which is the 1 world, because the 1 world is you inside the 0 world. You're in the free space. Space. You're in the free space. If you weren't in the free space in any space at all, you wouldn't be able to do anything you're doing. You wouldn't be able to hear me, and I wouldn't be able to be talking. I have just got a visitor. How you doing, buddy? You okay? No? Are we going to be okay? Yeah? We're going to be okay? So we talked about the cat and the dog, okay? And not only that, the cat is X. The dog is Z. It equals 50. Okay? And it's right down at the bottom of your keyboard. It's the two numbers that are together, two letters that are together at the bottom of the keyboard. 26 and 24, creation of life. In the beta world, they're on the cross and everything is love. This is McDonald's, 4, 5, and 6. This letter over here, the V letter over here, okay, and another 1. This is Roman numeral 1000. This is part of the wing. And the light rights of man, LOI, means the law in Quebec. OIP, or Poil, is one of the girls in the comics. We have to learn about her to understand a little bit more. You see why number 6 is everything? That star, okay, there's two kinds of stars. The one that's on the ambulance, the one that's on the telephone. One goes into one side of the world where it transmits the energy this way. The other one is from the top to bottom where the snake, where it has to go through you. It's constantly in you. But it's the only thing that goes, you can bounce upside down and do what you want, but this thing is always going to put itself in the same position it needs to be. That's why some positions, if you would sleep standing up like horses, maybe you would have a different sleep. It would be pretty cool. Sleep on different angles. So that's why we sleep on different angles. So the system matrix spirit, wireless, no functionality but the molecule, not like in the human soul, that it's not. So when you sleep on different levels, you'll have different thoughts. This is the angle of life. This is the angle of life. Humpty Dumpty sat on a fall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Well, he didn't. You know why he didn't? Because he was sitting on this and it only went like that. And then it was like this and it only went like that. So Humpty Dumpty never had a great fall. That's a lie. But it's not a lie. Not at all. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Between August and September, isn't that the fall month? See, we have to understand a little bit deeper than what they're telling us to how we can create it in our own minds. I have, in all my books, maybe 100, 150 books, designs of all types. And the only reason they come out is because they fit together. They have reason to be together. And one of our greatest reasons we now have to see is the spirit. You see this circle over here? They hook up all around here. It creates the halo on top of your head. And those are the spirit strands creating the rounds on the moon. If you take a look at the moon, the rounds on the moon is hooked up like fishing hooks. Okay? It's almost like, you ever catch a lobster? The same design as the lobster. The lobster can get in, everything, the water can pass through at the same time, but you caught a lobster. We looked at the keyboard, and the funny thing about the keyboard, okay, and I put this into a few cassettes already, is these letters, this equals 40, Monopoly. This equals 20, that's the passage into the E world. This equals 50, that's the circle of the passage. You know the 50 red? 50 red, your life is 50. Your life is 50, your man is 6. Your number 56. Creation of B and C, of W creation of number 23, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 11. You become man of spirit, angel, and man. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 2 times 3 makes you the 6. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to your electronics, E and F, and they're right next to each other. I showed you how E and F connect to each other. This is what happens. It connects to a top and a bottom of this dice over here. See from here to here? Imagine if this dot was sticking all the way out, up top, and it stretched all the way down to here. But here's your 4 sides. And your F connects on here, and the other one down here. And then there's a crisscross of the F. You did understand the dog? Well, look at time, 47. Time and the cat is 71. Talks about the queen 8. Dog and time is number 73. Talks about creation of the 7th gate. So they're always 2 away from each other. Okay? So when we go back to here, okay, this becomes 23 creation, and this is the 17. This is your number 17 over here. This is your number 23, makes your 40. 23 is the BC creation of what I just said, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, making 11 man. 6 and 5, spirit angel man. I have to switch subjects for a little bit. I found it. JFK Boulevard in my last video. Well, guess what? The address was 265. John F. Kennedy. 2 is like a J. BJ goes together. Beta, Jack, John F. Kennedy, BJ. 265, the calling of the two sides of the wolves. He called two sides of the wolf. He called from Mars. Because I think all our callings are from Mars. I think our heart and our life is hooked to the Earth, Moon, Luna. And then they distort our mind. No, we do have 2 parts of 8. 2 parts of 8. Man 6 has 2 parts of 8 of Venus and 4 parts of 8 of Mars. Man becomes 6 of 8 out of a possible 10 connects. Now all he needs is the 1 heart. Well, actually, it's not the 1 heart. It becomes the 5. I think it becomes the 5 of hearts. And it's the 5 of hearts because it's got 4 in the corner, 1 in the center. When you connect the 5 over a 9, okay, you become 5 for 5. And that's a rarity in football, right? When you connect the 5 over the 9, these 2 fit perfectly. These 2 fit perfectly. You have 2 and 2 parts of Venus. You have the floor and you have the roof, down and up. You're living on the in-between, just above the line. It's just above. That's why the leg is there. It has to show the difference from this side of the middle and that side of the middle, I'm quite sure. So when they put this over this, there's your 5 and 9, E-I-E-I-O, Einstein, because you do not see the 5 anymore. You remember where it is, the 5? You don't see it anymore. 4 down, and 1 down. Put your 2 legs over here, your head over here, your arms over here. You're supported on each side of your shoulder. And if you want to know the angle of the earth, this is the angle we live on. This is the angle we live on. Whoop. This is the angle we live on, and that angle right there. That's right between everything. Why are we like that? Because in a halo situation where we're not dead center of the earth, and if we were, nothing can all be dead center, because if everything was all dead center, it would make an overlay on each other. It would become wide and bound together like a golf ball. So the only thing that can be bound like that is something to do with our genes. It's the way our genes snap around us when we wear tight jeans. It's only certain things, our genes have to be tight. But everything else has to be, if it was a halo, it starts out here and it comes to chords in here, and then there's a passing for it. Every object has to be used for more than one thing. If you have a rod, there's got to be a hole in the space in the middle, just like a needle. On the outside, you need to be able to take that needle and twist it on so it holds on. So everything has to have multi-functions. So now we see 14. 9 times 5 is 45. We got the fox. We got 4 corners which are doubled. 4 times 2 is 8 because of Venus. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 4. Actually, this would be number, this here equals to 25, right? But this would be 4, 1, 1, 4. 1 for 4, for 4, for 1. Why do we go the opposite way of this? Is because this is what connects your planets, okay, and your energy, and this is what inside connects your life. So we double up your 4 space. 14 in the game of craps is perfect. They both equal to the number value of the cat, 6 and 8, spaceman. Why? Because 14, this is the payout is 7 to 5, which is electronic gates, okay? Or actually the ducks, quack, 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 down in the Suez Canal. Why don't we just call it the quack, quack gates? No, 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 not quack, quack. Let's say it's the duck of the bill. If it's the duck of the bill, watch out for the Buffalo Bills and Niagara Falls. The duck in the bill, Niagara Falls, leads us over to Hoover Dam and all the dams and waterways in the world. So now we got Hoover Dam electronics, duck, duck, quack, quack. We have the bill. We now have the gateways. We have Bill Gates. Microsoft Elimination Series, destined to destroy, complete, and take over. Well, if microbes were soft, Are microbes soft? So why should I call my computer company Microbe Soft? What is a microbe? Microchromatic generation. Einstein. E. At the same time, it's the I. I mean, this is the I and H. E-I. See the design? It's I and I. Okay, I and H. So you'd have E-I-E-I-O. 2 red, 2 black. Doubled. Don't you see the corners are doubled? We're in the space now. 4 on the left, 4 on the right, and 5 and 6 in the middle. That's all. No, 4, 5, 6, 8. 4. Let me see this. 4, 5, 6, 8. 4, 5, 6, 8. 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 5, 6, 8. 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 5, 6, 8. Okay, 50, the X and the Y, 23 times 23 times 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 5 equals to 6, wolf, white, 7. Five and 9 equal to 14. That is the cross. Okay. 5 is E. This one is I. It's EIO because we have 2 centers on each one. We have 2 centers on each one. Look out below. You understand? Look out below. So this becomes EIO and the Einstein theory of how the system works. The other thing we were talking on the keyboard of the cat and the dog, in which they were the X and the Z on the complete left-hand side, which is number 50. But I want to show you something about that 50, okay, that since they always have to reflect something, I take the 50 stars of the flag. I say Moses, the time of Moses. 50 times the number of time, which is dog. Everybody knows I came in here and I said dog is number 74, 704. You do not have to say dog. Another thing you can say instead of dog, come here, Dougie. Doug. Does anybody know Doug? Doug, Judge, George. Because when you say D and G and you take away the O, we can say D as a letter is D-E. We can say G as a letter as G and E. This is the electronic gates of the energy of delta. Delta is the prism, okay, inside the sandbox of Mars. Digging up with the 7th gate, reading it, and bring it back to man's heart. This is how it works. This is the electronic passage. He connects this world to this world, and this world to this world. This world would be 751. Right across here is 4, 5, and 6, but if this line was actually going into low shu, this would be 3, 5, and 7 right over here. So instead of this being 3, 5, and 7, look up, this becomes 3, 5, and 7 inside a man's life. It seems like man gets read into life by changing in low shu the corners between evens and odds, and into where evens and odds versus evens and odds. So this can turn, but if low shu was turned this way, it'd be this way, right? So the 2 world you're turning is right here. This is where number 1 becomes. Okay, if that's the way it's supposed to be in low shu. Okay, this is Venus. So now Venus comes into this corner. Venus is number 2. If Venus is number 2 in this corner, over here, okay, would either be the 6, and over here would be Mars. This corner and this corner. This would end up being Venus, Earth, and Mars. 2, 3, 4. The jail. Because you cannot live down here. This works for both sides. This is the wolf one way, this is the V one way up, this is the V one way down. I'll have to explain it and remember it myself. Don't forget, look, here's 4 cubes, and then here's 4 cubes, and then here's 4 cubes, and here's 4 cubes. So anyways, I wanted to say this. So that was your dog stuff. D and G is 9, and this here is 7 and 5, 12. Rubik's Cube, 9 and 12. 9 and 12 is 3 times 3 and 3 times 4. I'm not quite sure 9 and 12. 9 and 12, December 9th. Or it becomes 39 or 93, and that becomes the roadway or the railroad of Saturn that passes over Hoover Dam. So it seems part of this world, can I say chronology includes, no, not the time, but Saturn has a roadway. Saturn is part of this planet. No, I told you, Saturn says Earth. Jupiter says Earth, both in French. Pluto says sooner or later. Uranus says up your ass. Mercury says your heart and your blood is pumping steam out of Venus, which is your sex and your life. From Earth, of the body you are made up. From Mars, which is a sand trap inside your mind. From Jupiter, which is the electronic passes connecting your world with the rest of the world. 6 is Saturn, where you actually are right now, Saturn and Venus, because the body of who you are that is built in Saturn, but comes out of the DNA of Venus. The halo and the O blood are the strands that hook up. I talked about O and P at the beginning of this, just to get it out of the way, just to tell you the Q is not next. They took it out and put it on the 1. Okay? Becomes number 17. And becomes number 26. Oh, that's again something to show. The Q, 26, and the Z, 17. They put that both on the 1 of the debit machine. Becomes 43, Earth and Mars. Becomes the head of the moon. 4 times 3, 4 plus 3 equals 12. Plus 7 equals 19. 1 and 9 in pull is the only sphere you can have. It's the 9 birth of the 1 spirit life, of the 6 light, of the 3 creation, of the sandbox of 4, of the electronics of Jupiter, and the earthland of Mars, inside being bits and pieces surrounded by what the creator DNA is, which is beta system, which is Venus, which is your body, into the 8 heaven because there's 2 sides, into the 9 birth because it's 3 by 3, that you have a 9 connected strands into the world. 9 connected strands where it means you live center. Number 9 is the center. Okay, the center of life. Number 9 goes here. Here's 4, here's 4, here's 1. Or it's 1, and these are 9. Or it's 1, 4, and 4. Or 4, 1, 1, 4. Look up Sesame Street Grover, and he's holding a flag, 1, 4, 4, 1. So we also showed, again, the cat and the dog. And if you want to know the numerological for the cat and the cat becomes 8 and 6, man of this world. And the dog becomes the T and the Z, which means T to Z, Tolzik or whatever that the Mayans say. Oh, this has something to do with the communication. Howl at the moon. Dogs are like wolves. Okay, wolves are number 65. Boom. Remember this. J.F. Kennedy Boulevard, 265. 6 and 5 and 2. 2, 5, 6. Do you remember the videos before? Sorry to interrupt this. But 2, 5, and 6 was JFK. 56 is the wolf. 65 is the white wolf. The exit was 43. 2, 6, and 5 is 13. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is 256. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. All the same numbers. In none of them do we use the 3 and 4. We have 2, 5, and 6. We don't use the 3 and 4 in any of these. Earth and Mars is not used for numbers to create the 2, 6, and 5. Yes, we use 5 and 4. 5 and 4 we use. We don't use the 3. The only one we don't use is the 3, because the 3 is absolutely inside of the 5 of the wolf, the 5 and the 6, in which 2 times 3 makes 6. 2 plus 3 make 5 equals 56. Now let me show you this. See, we had 50 before between the cat and the dog. 50 here. 23 creates 56. The 0 becomes 15. 1 and 5 is 6. This is our position, I believe. This is the division where I always say, if there's a 0 on this side, make it a point, and then use the next number, or just make it a 6. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 6. 23, 56. This is when Moses was born. The 50 stars of time. We can also say 30 stars of time, because 2.5 is a dozen. A and B is what everything's all about. 2.5 times a dozen. 2 times 6. Two times 6 is 12. Times 5 is the 60 seconds at the clock. Plus 13 is 73. This talks about Nibiru. The Aleph letter that is used inside of here, in the DNA strand, okay, because the Aleph letter shows up in the DNA strand, and the DNA strand of the Aleph letter is this over here. If you put that together, it looks like a K. If you turn it around, it looks like a D. If you flip it upside down, it looks like a P. Here becomes 31. This becomes the creation of the one spirit. And all you need to say is 3 and 1, because once you got 1 and 3, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, you got 3 and 4, you have AC/DC. It creates 19, and once you have 19, you have all the 19s. You just don't have one. And 19 is repeated in French in 79, and 19 is repeated again in French at 99 for Jupiter. Okay, this is Barack Obama right now. This is what's coming into this Super Bowl. This is man, man X, spirit angel and man. Which man is this? This is man 83. Okay, 8 and 3 is 11. 8 and 11 connect in your roulette. 8 and 11 collect on roulette is black and black. That makes your 19 moon. Okay, making your 19 moon, which is very fantastic, especially on low shoe. The number 9 is in the 2 Venus spot, and the number 8, which is Neptune, is now the number 1. So man's mind is in Neptune. Don't forget, we need the radiation. The radiation is under the mountains. It's under the hills. It's in Aspen, and I just have to look what I was looking at. It's in Aspen. It's in the Swiss Alps, radiation. This word, I know I'm jumping all over, that's why you got to follow me. Hashem, angel heaven's chemicals. The hem is to sew together, to put together. Shashem, this is also Hashem. Some people will say it with a C because they say the creation angel, but it's a chemical binary. It's a chimney. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiray. Learn about that song. We need to know why Santa Claus goes down the chimney, because he might be going down the chimney over here. Here's our chimney. We breathe in what they're putting in the air, and it radiates within our mind, and then they're able to have their radiation control. My God, those diamonds are beautiful, and you are looking radiant. Radiant, my friends, because when the mind works, or something happens within whatever the mind goes, the mind sweats. You get a headache and the blood pumps. Why is the blood pumping more up here than down here? The heart hasn't missed a beat. Even sometimes it's not even going faster, you're still getting the headache. This turns. This is your magnet. When it pulls down, when this turns, it goes over the top of this. So when this, whatever this has, because it's hooked underneath something, or this can be hooked on the top as your halo or your spirit wiring, I do not know. I'm still trying to learn the spirit world. I'm trying to learn, oh my God, look at the X right here. I didn't even notice. Look above my eyes. There's an X in between my eyes. He ain't got a head. His head is right here. The V is for life. The V down, the V up, between my legs and above my neck. I see very well. I'll do like the girls do. Hey, I got a tattoo. Look at my tattoo. 10909. I usually don't notice 10909, but I never do a video this long. In fact, this video is over in 3 minutes. Wait a second. 109 minutes? So where am I next? The radiation, the Hashem chemicals, the needle, the out of control. I just heard on the radio 2 things. A, what do we do if the power goes out? If there's an ice storm, where can we go? Don't worry, ma'am. You can come down to the firehouse. You can stay here. Why would we want to stay at the firehouse? Why don't they open a reality of a real building that's owned by somebody that seems right? Not to put everybody into, now they're announcing to keep people within the police force, the armies, and the patrol routes into the fireman. And in French, fireman says pompier, which means an apple foot. Now the soul is the apple and the foot. Apple, palm would be soul. Palm, we have you in the palm of our hands. Anyways, I don't want to go here. There was out of control mentioned on the radio. What if our children go out of control? And it seems like what can go out of control? Chaos can happen. And all of a sudden, Maxwell Smart, Agent 86 and 99 together. 86 and 99 made a perfect team. So together, Jupiter and man's heaven makes a perfect team. So we have 99 plus 86 equals 185. Angel heaven. A-H-E. I don't have to say the V because the V gets repeated twice, V and V, inside of the X. So it comes 4 and 4 is 8. Or double D's. 4 and 4, 1, 4, 4, 5. Why? Because the 8 and 1 make up the 9 card. So it already has the 9 inside here. It becomes 9 and 5, which is part of the Einstein theory of connection, but they were connecting with 1776. I'm connecting with Rubik's Cube. Okay? Santa Claus, the chimney, the sock, the feet. One of the reasons for the sock is because if you look at numbers, okay, if you look at numbers, you connect number 8, number 9, number 6, and number 3. And that would make your L, and that would spin around. Or you go 2 and 5, and 2 and 5, and 8, you put the lock here. This is the head. This spins around, but this is the skull. It spins to this side, spins to this side, and it all comes to this side. Here, you have a disc. Here you have a disc. A disc goes here, a disc goes here. I'm not sure exactly how the disco goes. Then on the other side of the cube, you have another disc doing this on this side, doing this on this side, and then you have one on the top that passes over all of them, connecting your 4-1-4-1-4-4-1 thought pattern. I showed you that the 7th gate, when it leans down, that it looks like a number 7. Now I'm going to go over some things that I had to do. There was big things. They talked about the United States. Well, forget about the United States. States. Mr. Tate from Bewitched. The Avenue. Okay? I saw something today with some Avenue written on it. It's not this. Here, I'm just going to change the subject. It says brilliant purple. Then it says pourpre éclatante. And then it says purpura brillante. So, anyways, I don't know what it was saying here. I'm not sure where I was. Anyways, here we have in the Andes Mountains, in the Swiss Alps, by Whistler, Aspen, and Colorado, and out by Canada. Something to do with the mountains. Something's going on under the mountains. Maybe an energy that's being pulled in. I'm not sure what it is. Kansas City today, the rain was moving on an angle, a big angle, big enough to say it was going sideways. Kansas City is Interstate 70. Interstate 70 crosses over number 35. 7 times 5 is 35. 70 and 35 becomes 105. All the tornadoes, the 105th day of the year was April 15th this year. Something happened in Boston. This is your 7th gate. This over here would be 6. It'd be 76. But when you add it together, 105, when you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, it equals 105. When you have 4 sets of cards and it equals 105, it says 420. Okay, 420. But online, if you look up 420, a lot of times it'll say marijuana 420. In French, they specialize in French. Okay, in French, they specialize when they say 420 in French as cat, okay, and vin. And they say cat and vin in French, which means 4 and 20. This is the number they write down. They write down 80. So this 80 becomes 86, and then it becomes man. That's what 4 suits gets you. D and T is, you can say debit. Why? Because the T is number 2. So instead of saying DT, you can say debit, because it's 2 and 20, or 22, because DB, right, TB, when they say Tabetha and they say thank you and wishes to Tabetha, is actually Neptune, Venus, in which Venus is Neptune, and Neptune is Venus. Man is Venus. Neptune owns everything. Venus is Neptune. Neptune owns Venus. In fact, it's so screwed up, the way I see it right now, I think Neptune owns Venus 100%, because the rod goes right through Venus into Neptune. And I have a funny feeling that Neptune also owns Earth and Mercury. But if she doesn't, the reason for that is because Earth and Mercury go inside of Jupiter. In Jupiter, there's part of Venus. But Venus doesn't come together until it connects Jupiter and Saturn. Then, because it's the skull moon, the blue world. So we end up with Earth, Mercury, Neptune. Earth is 52. Neptune is 20. And Neptune also says the birth of 1. N-E is birth. U-N-E is 1 in French. 1 is 21, 33, 38, 5, 19, 40, 50, 60, 76, 86, 95. Wow. Electronic, the same 5 and 9 of the Einstein theory that connects all the electronics. The total of this is 137. 3 and 7, okay, in the Aleph letters, when you look at it on the phone, the position of the 3 and 7 show from the Aleph that it's a single line above and below. I also like to look at that as the wings, okay. The other thing, I finished with Kansas City, okay. I was talking about states and interstates, where this is a 9/11 corner of Monopoly. The avenue or the nav. I saw today the navigator, something to do in science and something to do in the art room. I saw said nav on it, or naive, the naive one. So I showed this. I showed where 80 was. I spoke about where Venus is, because Venus would be number 22. Okay, Venus. If Venus, the V letter is 22, the V letter is 5. But the Venus is 22. We know Venus has to be 3 parts. If it was 5, it would have to be 3 parts of 5. Venus. And Venus as a letter, as the 22nd letter, is 4 parts of 5. 4 parts of 5 means Venus times 4 equals 88. And Venus times 5 equals to 110 of the twin towers. Now that would be the top of Venus. 5 times 22. And 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4. 5 times the 4, now it will create the sun inside Venus. When Venus grows to 5 times its value in its letter of 22, it becomes the sun. Now if I multiply 5 times V as the 5, instead of the 22, be 5 times 5 is 25. Venus is 81. 5 times 5 is 25. That's Jack. That's who Jack is. Jack is something to do with the whole sandbox, or maybe we borrowed Jack's brains. But it totals 106. J and F, January, February, June, February, July, February. 10, 10, 10 is the 30 creation. Each 10 becomes 7. 3 by 7 is 21. 21 and 25 is 46. It becomes Mars, the sandbox, and Saturn, the playhouse. We get 80. Now if we take this 80 and we want to work it in temperature, so we go 8T times 1.8 is 144 plus 32 is 176. See, first I can work the two worlds at 176, right? But just let's say, usually the one position is who you are. And here's your one spirit. So that's the P letter of the seventh gate. So at this temperature over here, 80, it becomes this. But our temperature our body temperature, I don't know it right now, and I'm not going to do it. Well, maybe I will. Is it 98.5? 98.5 would also be 9, 6, and 4. Because the 5, we live in the 7 is the pin that runs in two worlds. So it's two sides, two moons. You understand? It moves like this. You know, anyways, okay. This becomes 35 and 35 to make this 35. Why? Just like the W and the M, there's two mountains up and one mountain down. So this will be the side with two up. This will be the side with one down. So if we turn it the other way, we'd have 35, 35, 35. We also had number 35 before I bumped into that, and I wasn't sure what I was going to say. Hold on. Thinking, Barack Obama, the railway, heart, Venus, Earth. Why is it a railway? Because if we live in 2, 5, and 8, okay, no. We're 4, 5, and 6 going this way. 4, 5, and 6 means Venus 2 and Venus 3. 3 times 2 Venus is 4. 3 times 2 Venus is 6. 2 times 2 Venus is 4. That becomes your 6 and 4 becomes your 10. And that's your rotation, 4, 5, and 6 going around and around and around. I mean, multiply 2 times 2 equals 4 Mars. Venus times Venus. But Venus also, intervenus, is because we are intervened with, because Venus is the blue ball in pool. If we were looking at the 8 ball, it would be the 10 ball. I'm sorry, the 10 and the 2, okay, are both blue. But, oh my God, the 8 is black, the 2 is blue, and the 10 is blue. Why am I freaking like this? Because we know the 8 ball puts you out, right? This from here is 2. 2 from 8 is 10. Okay? 6 is man in between. Well, what I'm thinking about is the opposition of the numbers in the scale is 2 and 8, which is talking about man. This is 2 and 1, which is talking about the mind. But it doesn't make a difference. What I'm trying to say here is that this is Neptune and this is Venus. And they place exactly the same way, 2, 5, and 8 on your telephone, and it works together in black and blue. I'll give you a black and blue eye. Okay, give me a black and blue eye, and when you're finished with giving me the black and blue eye, you'll tell them that I'm coming home in 5 minutes. The expression. Also, Kansas City, because of the Great Lakes, there's some kind of wind tunnel that's either under the ground again or it's above in the sky. It could be most likely for sure in the ground, because if we're feeling shitty sometimes, we have to pull that energy from somewhere. Okay? And that's why it might get dry outside, because they're pulling it right under the earth. But I think it's the Great Lakes that cause some kind of turbine positioning on Kansas City that runs Highway 70 and 35, in which on the way from the Great Lakes, you drive through Detroit. Hey, Mike, you drive through Detroit off the highway at 74, 96, 94, through Chicago on Highway 80, and then through the Illinois and over the, hi, Mississippi. So we do that, we do this. We got the dog, we got the cat. We counted time. We counted time. Now why don't we use this again? How can we get this? 23, number 23, and 24 creates this. The same way we had this over here, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 2 times 3. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 20, is 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 5 and 6. So if it's 5 and 6, when you had the, I'm trying to, and there's stuff I didn't even finish, I remember, with my 1, 4. Anyways, what it becomes, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, will be 23, 56. So 56 fits in between over here. If you do 43, how do you get 43? 21 and 22, 22 and 21, 20 and 23, 19 and 24. NX. EN is the sound, makes 19. X is 24. I'm sorry. This is 19. With the sound, okay, of E as ES, it'd be 23. S, the spirit and the soul creation, which is the 1 and 9 ball and pull. 1 and 9 is 19, plus 23 is 42. This one is number 19. 19 and 24 is X, S and X. The X-man. You make that X over this, and it connects one side. Once you make the X on this, you create one side. Anyways, it becomes 43. 43, Earth and Mars, times 47, the dog. GD, GDE, hey Dougie, hey Dougie. Why? Because the sound of the letters are like that. Except we're not going to, anyways, whatever. 47 times 43 is the year 2021. We have to take away 6, okay? Because the 6 doesn't exist. But it exists. But here's his heart. But the 6 exists here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's hidden, you don't see it. So anyways, that was the time of Moses I was showing. Another thing I wanted to say, which I missed from earlier on, right at the beginning, is 11 times 11 times 11 times 11, okay, equals to 14, 6, 14. 6 is in the middle. 5, 6, 5. This will automatically... 4 times 1 is 4. This will be 9, and this one over here will be 34. This will become 34. This will be 9. This will be 34. The 34 will turn into 19. It'll be 919, your 9 card of the birth. Then over here on the other side, okay, we'd have 1, 4, 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 makes 13. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 9. 9 and 13 becomes 9, 4, 9, 1, 9. 9, 4, 9, 1, 9. Okay. 9, 9 becomes 11. You end up with 1, 1, 1, 4, which is what Grover is holding. It's our DNA strand modification. Anyways, 1 and 4 is 25%. Jack is number 25, and 25, 625 is 25 again, because it's 5 times 5. It all stands for Jack. Why is 14 25? Because in the Mayan numbers, 13 and 1, 10 and 4, 9 and 5, and 8 and 6 come together to make that number 14. In the crap game, 8 and 6, 9 and 5, 4 and 10 come together to make that. There's 1, 2, 8 and 6 is 1, 9 and 5 is 2, 4 and 10 is 3. The only reason that it's 3 is because there's only 3 ways here. Down here is 1, up here is 2, over here is 3. Up here is 1, down here is 2, over here is 3. So there's 3 in 3 ways. At the same time, it's 14, 14, 14 equals to 42. So it becomes 25, 6, 25. This is your Magen David of your 6 ways, but count how many places there are. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a total of 3 worlds of 7. Why? Because there's 2 digits over here. Spirit of 76 fits over here. Pays off 8 and 6. 75 pays off here, which is the electronics. And 2 to 1, or 9 to 5, which is 2 to 1, here and here. 2 times 2 and 2 times 5. That song Lord is on again. 52 says Earth, Heart, and 6. This one says BB, it's also V for life. This 4 is the sand trap. This sand trap goes into the 10. And then it becomes the 10 for life. The Cadillacs in our dreams. The reason they have Cadillacs in their dreams is Cadillac, the number in Cadillac is 3, 1, 4, 1, 9, 3, 1, 3. Cadillac, Cadillac Ranch, it's water. It's water. It's like you're fishing all the time for information. It's like it spins around in your head. Oh, it picked up something, some knowledge. Oh, it picked up some knowledge in my head. So it's reading. How do we work? Only on a vibration? Well, doesn't a vibration have to have a reader? If you can pick, if we talk like this, signal between me and you, seriously, Something has to pick up that signal. See that thing in the middle of my mouth over there? Like a bee? That's it, my friends. That thing over here. I want to know what happens to people when they lose that. Has anybody ever lost that? And if they did, what happened? Or is that the signal that comes from here? How does it work? What sharpened in their life when they lost that? Even with our teeth. Earrings, anybody? Ear, ring, the ring, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. Has anybody ever tried to talk like this? Because when you talk like this, when you talk like this, yeah, that's better. Hold on, close the ear completely. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, when I talk like this, I hear myself. I mean, it's unbelievable when I talk like this. I mean, imagine if I was the announcer of a baseball game and the ball is hit. It's up, and away, and a home run. Oh, I can hear my voice. I can hear myself. Imagine if people who were having a hard time in life because they couldn't connect. So they started closing the ear completely, okay? Well, you don't have to put your finger up in the temple, but I like the connection between the two fingers. My two readers. Finger placement, the readers. The bullhorns, the train tracks, spreading everything apart. Choo-choo, choo-choo. You ever see what the train guy is wearing? So now we have 4 and 10, and the reason for 4 and 10. 10 and 4. JD. I am. I missed the number 83 before. Oh, yes. Here's that 2-3 creation inside of space. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals to your 5 and 6. Your 5 and 6 creates your 30. It also creates the 11, makes 41. You go all the way around Monopoly and over to the Mediterranean. So something right now is in the Mediterranean, and it always has been, something to the open sky, underneath the ground, and it spreads from China all the way over to Saudi Arabia. How do I know? They wear that turban in their head because they know the turban is above them. The pigs that fly around and pick up information. Well, the Chinese, or not, excuse me, not the Chinese, sorry to say that, but the Buddha, or the ones who pray to the pig, who like the pig, or whatever it is, I'm sorry to say it, I don't know, I'm dumb, because they know. They know that that's part of the connection. Another thing is that if you want to talk about 2 suns, Pluto the dog is orange. His number is number of space, Barack Obama, and it connects the second sun. The sun from man's head and man's sun, but there's another sun missing, and it's coming from Pluto. Does that mean we're still connected to Pluto? They took away Pluto as a planet. They put a new planet. They're reconnecting the old strands. They don't care anymore. It's all these new people, the younger people, they have to set up because they're electronically 10 times more than anybody else. This is Barack Obama. This is the football that's coming up. This is part of the Twin Towers. Above, the middle, and below. Add 3. The above and the middle, because 2 sides, add 2, whichever one you want. Okay, the connectors, the lane. I saw a sign, it says stay in the lane. Now, was it Lois Lane? Is it something about Superman? That the colors of Superman, the Superman is blue, and Superman, his S is an expression, it's the background. Where is he super? He's super by the Spirit, by the Holy Spirit, because it's white, and it's detailed in red, and he wears red boots, and he's the man of steel, because we're all Iron Men, because it's in our blood. Do we continue to take the iron, or is it hurting us? The man of steel, Lois Lane. LL, the 2 wings, always picking up after Superman what he forgets. Barbara Feldman, Maxwell Smart, the penguin that he played, the penguin in Batman, okay? The plain lane, the lane, or the lame, or the lamb that was lame, or the lamb, her fur, okay, was plain. But at the same time, when it says the plain, inside the P, it says the light of man, and the wool that's pulled over our eyes, or the wool that's pulled over our brain that connects with our pineal gland. Old world connectors came from the ancient ones of the Aztec Freelies. The Aztec Freelies, in a conference I had with Extra Normal, the Aztec Freelies, the person, sorry, to send me a message from the Aztec Freelies, okay, told me it was the Aztec Freelies from 1539. And they says, if I do not act right, or I'm from the Aztec FINALIZE of 1539, which you notice it's all the outside corners that can be reconnected inside, saying it is now Lo Shu. The Aztec FINALIZE said, I'm losing all connections because my connectors are down. From the Aztec FINALIZE, okay, of 1539. The ancient spirits. The other thing I said about Superman is this is in the background of the white, because it's the white spirit. It's the two spirits of light. You want to know why? You know why there's two S's like this? Because one, we're getting it, the spirit from the up world, but you know why in the corner? Because the world's like this. That's why Lo Shu moved its numbers around. Everybody knows 2 is in the center, this is the center. So they moved it in Lo Shu, and then it ends up over here. From here to here. Okay? This is your F. This is your F. This is like your bouncing ball. The 2 S's because man's life 4 and 6 he runs. Here's the wheel of man, and he's running. And here's his head pinned back. So now man runs. Here's his hair pinned back. Here's his hair pinned back. Here's his 2 arms, and he's running. Mañana connects the 2 worlds of what 2 worlds? 3 times 2 is Saturn, and 2 times 2 is Mars. But this might have to be redone. I have to check something out, because man has now become 1539 from the Aztec FINALIZE. We have to connect this to this, F and A, April, August, and February. 2, 4, and 8. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 by 2 is 8. I don't know why, but now we have 2 times 2 equals 4, 4 times 2 equals 8. And 8 becomes, again, we're in the sphere world, and this is this Super Bowl this year, 4884. Venus, this is the dome, the halo of Christmas. The halo is the brain, maybe, and then it's connectors all the way down, coming in from the back of your neck. See the way it's upside down? It's only part of a K. Looks like a 7 and ends up running like a Y. This looks like the gimbal running forward. I would have to design I would have to design 2 of them. Now they're 2 bulls facing each other. Y versus Y. Z and sometimes Y. Z and sometimes Y. N, 6. At the same time, you can make it the other way. But the other way is different. The other way has to come down like this. Because you only can go through the center one time. You can't go through everything. And this will spin, and these 2 will pick it up. Why? What is this? If you ever take a look at the Aleph letter, it shows 2 wings. Another thing, the 10 horse, you remember we talked 10 before? The 10 horse and the 4, or October 4th when it's all going to happen? Well, something's got notification. Let's just say notification. But when you look at the Aleph, you have 2 wings added on, and then you have the barred line, which is 1, 5, and 9. 1, 5, 9, 3, 5, 7, CG, A, E, I. C, G, A, E, and I. So this becomes maybe your 11. This becomes your X. You see the way you're an X on this angle? It's also like the bow tie of the Budweiser beer, the same angle. 5 and 3, 1 and 9. 5 and 3 because you need the spirit of the 5 inside the 9 of the 3 creator. 1, 3, 5, 9. 4 and 14 becomes 4 and 5. These are the Indians of the sun, the Aztec FINALIZE. And Lize happens to be something to do with a supply company. The freelance suppliers, because a friend of mine was in the office supply business. His number was 388-922 blank. The number is no longer good, but it's 9221 and 388. I mean, it's 838, and that's Hoover Dam. So we know, again, things connect to Hoover Dam. We talked about the halo, the 2 bulls. They both look one brain, 2 bulls, 2 sides. Can we call this ego? We have 2 times 5 and 2 times 2 equals 10 equals 4. 104 is Casino War. So we have the block in the center of the X. In fact, it's creating a letter. So I say it's the N, N, Z. I don't have a line this way because I can't create the N. The only way to create the N is now draw it this way. See the way it looks like the E letter in between? Looks like the F. You can see the 7. Now you take another one of these and put another one over here and live between the two, or you take this one and you draw another one here on top of it. Start with the point and then go up. Then you'll have your big X and it'll look like some sort of octopus. Again, 20 minutes ago, okay, first of all, Google showed these numbers, okay? This 94, okay, 9 times 4 is 36. That stands for Uranus. Plus 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 3 and 6 is 9. 9 and 4 is what it comes back to. That's your birth, and those are 4 corners of the sandbox. This is exactly where we are. It says Uranus. This is the number of Uranus. This 14 is also 25% of something. So 25, 6, 25 is also the expression of 11 times 11 times 11 times 11. We spoke about this. Where did we get 56? Over here. We counted inside of space 44 and space 44. Why space 44? Because between here and here is 45 degrees. Between here and here is 45 degrees. So you put your 4 here and your 4 here. Okay. In between here, because you have to go onto this side and take up part of it, and you have to go on this side to take up part of it, in between here, you have to take 1 and then 44. And then you take 1 and then 44. In here, I'm going to be missing 2. So the distance between here and here, missing 1 here, missing 1 here, overlapping in the center, or it's like I said, it spins this way. I don't have the exact method. I'd have to sit down. Okay? But if it spins over here on this angle, or it becomes spinning in this corner over here. It spins in this corner over here. And then this one spins in this, and this one spins in this corner over here. And then there's U that's in the center over here. Now, I'm not sure if all 3 are here, or it's on this one, then 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 this one, and then, and I'm not sure how to connect it yet, but anyways, your 44, okay, is 44 on this side, 44 on this side? No. 45, 9. 45, 9. Here, this whole space here is equal to 90, okay? Unless we're talking about, yeah, this whole space equals to 90. Okay, if this is equals 90, it's 45, 45, 45, 45, but we must take off 1 for the center. Like 1 yard, 1 yard equals 3. So we become 44 and 44 becomes 88. It becomes these 2 fingers in the center over here, and those are, excuse me, it's these 2 fingers, okay, the cat fingers, 2 and 4, is what the readers of the needle are on both sides of the center. 2 and 4, which is actually second one from the pinky, 1 spirit of the light, and it's the second one from the thumb. Number 2 and number 5, Earth. Number 1 and number 4, the DNA. So we knocked about the cells, the phone, the apps. The apps, or the abscess, or the abscesses, because we grow things in our body that we're not supposed to grow, so therefore it's an app. And last, not before least, I have 2 more pieces, okay? Contract protocol, this is what I want, New World Healers, Spirit Knowledge. Psychiatrists, doctors, it's going to be a thing of the past. Unless you have an accident or something else, but psychiatry, it'll be a lot easier to fix than before. And the last thing I want to say is we're going to do this together, okay, because this is like one of the most important things, okay, and I'm going to write the word silver. And I'm going to write the word gold. And I'm going to write the word spade. And I'm going to write the word club. And I'm going to write the word heart. And I'm going to write the word diamond. And we're so far into this video, I'm going to write this word off. What I'm going to get to is about gold. Silver and gold and how we can manipulate the numbers. And Q, W, A, S, Z, X. I would like to apologize to everybody. There was another thing. I'm not going to mention it. I just want to apologize to everybody is that if you really want to understand this, you got to listen to the whole thing at least twice, and I know it's an hour and a half long. Why do we have to listen twice? Because we have to put the pieces together, because sometimes I learn things 5 minutes later than what I told you, or I told you because I didn't remember what it was, therefore I didn't know it at the time. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I got some new markers. I love it. 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.